comic book time again because I'm not done with any of the two two or three books that I have um in traditional media form. I'm not gonna name names that would date it, but this first book's gonna date it anyway. So, um, yeah, I don't know, but I bet you I'm finished with Axioms and before the other book I'm reading. That's all I'll say on that. So, on to non-traditional media, but equally just as respected. And we're talking about a book that I really haven't seen a whole lot of people do. And not with good reason. I mean, honestly, more people should have picked up this book. It's the end of the Earth Prime books. The fifth part of The Flash. The Flash. And The Flash is Earth Prime story. But you don't get a whole lot of Flash in this. Barry himself doesn't really show up till the end. You get a lot more Magog and Barry's kids, but you don't see a whole lot of the Flash. So, um, the reason I thought they were gonna bring in the Linear Men is right on the cover here. I don't know if you can see it, but Magog's holding this purple cape. It it looks like something Matthew Ryder or Rip Hunter as a Linear Man would wear, or like the Time Trapper. You don't get that. You don't. It doesn't resolve in here. For all I know, he could have killed one of the Linear Men off screen, but yeah. And they talk to Superman, which I only have one question about that. Which Superman is it? Is it the Superman from the TV show? Or the Superman from... Okay. And we pause. Hi. And we're back. Sorry about that. Someone called. Let's see. I explained to you before I was rudely interrupted that that I thought they were going to bring in the Linear Men because of this purple cape here. Magog's holding in the chair. And you don't get to see that. Like I said, could have happened off panel, could have not happened in this continuity. Um, just and what gets me about this book is that if they don't do more of these, there's the argument that the DCU, DC TV, the DC TV universe would be coming to a close because the Flash is going on its last season, which I don't know. Like I was trying to explain, what Superman is this? Is it the Superman from the TV show Superman and Lois, or is it the the Superman from the TV show Supergirl, which according to what they're going by now is an entirely different Superman, not in the same continuity anyway. But Crisis still happened in it, I guess. Yeah. You get to see them all at the end line up there, and it says it's continued in season 9 of The Flash, but otherwise than that, I don't see a reason why they couldn't have connected this, The Flash, one I briefly talked about in my most most recent review, to this. They couldn't have had like another Flash pop up. This whole book, if it were shot on a TV show, would have cost money. So having this Flash meet this Flash would have just been icing on the cake, you know. My thoughts on Superman and Lois as a whole are that he is portrayed stronger in these books than he is actually on the show. How he defeated Bizarro and that whole thing. I promised the person that just called that I'd talk a little bit about my thoughts on Superman, so here it is. Um, I I think that Brandon Ralph Superman could easily defeat Clark in this universe and in the Supergirl. I mean, and in the Lois, and in the Superman and Lois universe. Um, I knew the Spectre would have to let go by the end of this book. And the fact that they tease something else kind of makes me think they are doing more of these. It was a good book. They definitely should, you know. Um, I wasn't able to predict what happened in here as well. It wasn't the best book of the week. That was this. This was the best book of the week. I liked this because you actually got to see Bonnie Baxter, Jeff. Um, it implied that the Dark Crisis will lead to something bigger. It just made my little nerd heart happy. The fact that we got to see Swamp Thing. The fact that whereas Magog, you kind of got that Magog would have to be defeated because they aren't going to do Magog on the show. I can almost guarantee you that. Because that would require too much explanation. And they'd have to say, oh, he was in the book. And they'd be all like, what do you mean he was in the book? And we'd all have to be like, this book here. Which I can't see them doing. But sometimes predictability is good. Sometimes you know that it's a good idea to have your Superman fly by the end of the show, even if the actor doesn't want to. Like in Smallville. You don't have to end it with, and they all died, or it was a dream, or, and, and it was all in a snow globe. Um, I'd, I'd love to see another one. So, putting that out there. But maybe not right away. Focus more on stories like this, where we give Wally's other kid a superhero name. You know, as much as I don't like Wally as the Flash and feel that Bart got shortchanged, um, like I was saying a minute ago with I want to call it the Magog review, but with the Heroes Twilight review. Sometimes predictability is good. Other times, in their like in their case, it can be to your detriment because um the show may be ending soon. If this was on a show, if they had actually taken my suggestion and put put this version of the Flash on the show for a little while, they might have a hard time doing that because, like I said, a lot of people that read the book, a lot of people that read the books transfer over to the show, but it doesn't work both ways. I knew this one guy that didn't read hardly any comics and watched the show. And like I said, it wasn't book of the week material, but it was enjoyable. Um, will it be forgotten after Dark Crisis? Go over it to see what I could talk about. Um, Probably. Will it be forgotten directly after Dark Crisis? Probably not. Give it a few. Give it a few years. This Linda with powers thing has potential. Linda with powers, it's definitely not something that's been done before. That's all I'm saying. Not saying it's a good something, just saying it has potential. Um, what can I say about Flashpoint Beyond? Number 3. Had to cheat and look at the number. Like I said, it is my. If I did books like rankings and whatnot, this would be one of the things that it just stuck out in my mind, because of the way it ends and the fact that Rip's got a new Jeff already. If you remember the Booster Gold series, Jeff Hunter, or Rex Hunter. There you go. Rex Hunter. Not Jeff Hunter. Jeff was his good guy code name. Rex Hunter was the bad guy code name. That, but my point being that Jeff had already been has already been replaced once. Um, do I think it's gonna last very long? No. Do I think that Rip could be the Clockwork Killer? Absolutely. Do I think in 10 years, if the Arrowverse is still around, they'll still be they'll try to do a story as good as this story right now? Yes. Does this actually happen? Kind of. I mean, they do meet, so that's more than I can say for the Heroes Twilight cover. Is like I said, there's no purple cape, no McGowan sitting on a throne. He gets sucked back up into his other place. This at least kind of happens. So I guess they kind of get brownie points for that. But I think that one of the more enjoyable things that happen in the Flashpoint universe is that of what happens to Swamp Thing. It's not enjoyable for him, but it's enjoyable for us, the readers. I'd always wondered what happened to Swamp Thing in the Flashpoint universe. And now, because whatever kept it going, you find out what happened to Swamp Thing. And Poison Ivy's the leader of the Green now in the Flashpoint universe. I'd love to see them explain that on the show. That would be great. But that's never gonna happen. So, um, and the the Krypton the Kryptonians are invading soon in in this book on that timeline. If but I don't think it's going to bleed over into main continuity. You watch. They'll correct it before anything major happens. Granted, I haven't read the most recent issue, but I'm willing to bet that whatever's keeping the Flashpoint timeline going isn't going to affect the regular timeline, at least right away. They have to get into the main Dark Crisis before they start worrying about, oh, why Young Justice is doing that over there or doing this. It's just, yeah. Yeah. Um so if I did rankings, that would be definitely up there. And this too. I know I'm far behind if my viewing Heroes Twilight has anything to say about that. But this really cements how far behind it is because I am still reading stuff before War on Earth 3 regarding Titans. I know Titans finished, but Shazam is getting a new series soon. So that's probably where they're going to pick up the story that I wanted them to pick up in this. Shazam at his time as like a Titans character, and I love that the new series is going to be focused on Mary, but at the same time, books like this, it felt very 90s, let's put it that way. Oh, let's destroy the tower. You know Titan's Tower is gonna be fixed within a month. I don't even have to look forward to find out that Titan's Tower will probably be fixed by a time warp or just plain building or whatever. It will be fixed. Um, they didn't reveal who Red Axe is, so if you're going into it for that and you're a classic Teen Titans fan and you're wondering, gee, who's Red Axe? This book ain't gonna tell you. They do reveal Dick's not the father, so thank goodness and go into soap opera territory. But overall, it was okay. The Flash would still be better if they gave me an option to put one of these books in the DC TV show universe. I'd still choose the Flash, but overall, yes, was fine for what it is. A filler time. filler book for a filler time in Titan's history. I think the Jeff Johns era of Titan will be more fondly remembered than this. But I'm still willing to finish the book overall. Or, not the book, the run. The run, overall, I'm still willing to. I picked it up. I'm gonna finish it. I hope it leads into Shazam. Maybe I'll get to see young Black Adam. Um, I really wanted to ruin Heroes Twilight for you and say that, but and say that um missing couple people, and say that I'm missing, how to word this. Um, I really wanted to ruin Heroes Twilight for you, and say that, oh, I wanted to spoil the whole story, but I can't bring myself to do that. Heroes Twilight would be a fine addition to the Arrow TV verse if they allowed it to be. If in 10 years they decide it was just a failed experiment and they never bring back the 100-page giants and tie it all in and make the make those the missing pieces of the puzzle. There you go. I won't be hurt, but if a god gets referenced on like Stargirl, well, I won't be hurt either. I'll, I'll still think it's awesome, you know. Um, Good try, DC. Thank you for trying something new. If the rest of the Flash leading up to 800 is as good as this, it will be okay reading. It won't bring Bart back, but it'll be okay. And I can't say anything about Titan, so Bob out. I said that on